Did you go on any trips with your mom?
No, the trips that I went with Mom, we used to have a little, a Jeep. I don't know, they called it a Jeep then, but a little truck. We would load that with lunch. We'd go down to Lincoln Beach, and we'd have picnics. And we'd pick up my girlfriend, not Mother's girlfriend, but my girlfriend.
Which one?
We'd pick up my girlfriend, and we'd go down to Lincoln Beach and have a picnic and come back. But my mother loved to go, loved to do things like that. Mother wasn't one to go on. In fact, Mother did go with my dad back east at one time. But
she did?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, haven't heard about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to have Myron Olson. We had a cow that had to be milked. And we used to have Myron Olson that was a neighbor that would come and milk the cow. He was a singer, and oh, it was so fun. And I had a crush on Myron. But anyway, he milked the cow while Dad and Mother went back to and it was a World's Fair. I'm not sure. I went to the World Fair, but anyway, Mother and Dad did go to the World's Fair.
And so Myron came over to milk the cow for him.
But we had Myron Olson come and do the chores.
Did you date him?
Did I what?
Date Myron?
Oh, well, I was only 15 years old, 14, 15 years old.
How old was...
Yes, I used to go up. We used to play in Myron Olson's bar, Rolivio, and hide and seek. We used to hide in Myron Olson's big barn. But, yeah, I guess you'd call it days, but I used to go over.
What's that, Rolivio? What's that? What's that game?
What?
You said you played hide and seek and Rolivio or something?
Well, at this big board.
What's the name of the game?
Myron Olson.
No, what's the name of the game? Rolivio?
Rolivio.
What's that?
You know what Rolivio? They put it around in a circle, and then the one on the outside would run in and tap one on the shoulder, and that was Rolivio.
I've never heard of that game.
Oh,
okay.
I can show you. I could mention 2 or 3 games that we used to play.
How much older was he than you?
He wasn't any older, maybe a year.
Okay, so he didn't ever ask you out on a date when you got older?
No, I never did go to what they call a date. I just went. He'd come down and pick me up, and we'd go play at his bar. But we'd go bicycle riding, and we'd play baseball up in the square. We did a lot of things, but it wasn't a date as such.
It was a friend. He was a friend.
He's a friend, yeah.
Okay. What life lessons did you learn from your dad?
Work hard, be honest.
Okay. What's something you never understood or appreciated about your dad?
His temper.
You never understood that?
No, I didn't. No, I used to.
I thought you told me one time that he lost his temper and then he was so apologetic that he wanted to go buy you a dress.
He wanted to give me $5. And back then, $5 was $5. But I remember going in that front room closet. I was crying. But he come in and wanted to give me $5. But I got the worst looking. He had the toilet plugged up, and he said that I had flushed out a perfume or
Did you?
hand cream bottle down the toilet.
Did you?
No, to my knowledge I didn't. But anyway,
He thought it was you.
Well, Renee, this all happened. I was married at 17, so you know I was before then. I was married 17, 18.
So he gave you a licking and you started crying and then
Sure. And I went in the front room closet to cry. And he'd come in. It was in that we had what they call I guess you call it a guest room. They kept a nice bedroom and a nice. They used to have French doors, glass doors, and it looked like part of the front room. But anyway, we had a what they call a guest room, but there was a closet in there. And see, I went back in the closet. And he come in and had a $5 bill and wanted to give me $5.
Well, at least he felt bad. So, you told me a story about one time you had a dress for the dance, and was it Grandpa, your dad, didn't like it and he wanted your mom to go get you another one?
Graduation from junior high in Santa Quinn, and he bought me a yellow dress with a cape on it, and it had a fur around.
He bought that for you?
My dad bought that, yes. And then, come to find out, Leora Clark, which was not, she was not there. Of course, I was very judgmental back then, but she was not one of the elite. But anyway, she got the same dress, bought the same dress. I told my dad, I cannot wear that dress. So my mother went and bought me a pink taffeta with ruffles all the way down. But anyway, I'm sure that I really hurt my dad's feelings because he went on his own and bought me the yellow dress, but it had fur trim, it had a cape, like a cape on it. But it had fur trim. But see, and then going to school, why, Leora Clark. But anyway, we always called her dad Dummy Clark. It was that kind of a family. And I told Dad.
Why did you call her dad Dummy Clark? What did he do wrong?
This girl that bought the dress, her dad was named, they called him Dummy Clark.
Why?
I don't know, because he wasn't bright.
Oh.
They were poor people. And I hated, there was no way could I wear that dress with Leora Clark, with that, it was that dress with the collar and the lace, the fur trim. And I told Dad, I said, there's no way can I wear that to the graduation.
Wow. So did you always have a dress for dances? Did your mom buy you dresses?
I had more dresses than I ever needed. I always had a dress for the dance.
Did your mom?
We kept Payzants in business.
The name of the store was what?
Payzant, P-A-Y-Z-A-N-T-S, Payzants.
Payzants.
It was a dress shop in Payson.
So you went there on a regular basis. How often?
Oh, yeah. Mother was very, and we didn't have a lot of money.
But she was buying dresses for you.
Yeah. But I had plenty of formal. Even when I got married, I got my formals, several of my formals, but I didn't even get my bigger clothes. I didn't get my every Sunday clothes, and I got my formals, but I didn't even get my clothes when I got married.
Well, I don't understand why you couldn't go back to
Mother gave the clothes to the kid. She made over even my clothes.
Oh.
But they were bad because I had come through Santa Quinn and got married in Provo at the courthouse.
Okay. What did your dad say? He had a phrase or a quote that he would say all the time that what
was it?
You've got, let's get the hay to the...
He what?
This was a signature phrase or quote, something your dad said all the time. You've got, let's get the hay to the...
Chop it down, Della, chop it down. We used to chop our hay on the field, and he'd say, chop it down, Della. And then when I get up in the morning, I used to go with a guy by the name of Rick Hallows. He'd say, good morning, Rick, good morning, Hallows, good morning, Hallows. but he was a lot of fun.
Oh, I thought he said, "Hello, Della, hello."
Yeah, hello.
Hello. He was
Yeah.
playing the word hello instead of it was
Rex Hallows. I used to, but my dad liked Rex and Mama liked Chris.
okay. Did your dad ever tell you stories about his life growing up?
Absolutely, a lot of stories.
What were some of the stories?
He was at the time. He was one of nine kids.
I thought it was 12.
Well, at this time, he was one of nine. And
Okay.
Grandma Greenhouse fixed. They didn't have anything for meat, and but they had bread. They had bread broke up and molasses. They had bread molasses. That's what they had for supper was. I guess it was red milk, but it was with molasses.
So he told you about how hard it was because they didn't have a lot of food?
My dad worked, like I said, he helped Grandma. Any job that Grandma did, he'd go down and clean the chicken coop for Grandma, and all. Grandma's seat was old. Grandma was old.
So your dad was, even after he got married, he was helping his mom then?
Grandma died before I got married, I think.
His mom died before you got married?
Yeah, Dad's mother died, yeah.
So you didn't know her very well?
Well, I don't know, Renee. I'd have to look up the genealogy.
You said that your dad was going on a mission for the church?
He got his call. I've got his missionary picture, yes. He got his call, he was accepted, yes, Dad was going on a mission.
Do you know where he was going on his mission?
Well, mother got pregnant.
So you don't know where he was going to go on his mission? Where was his mission to?
I don't know. I've got a picture of him standing. I guess I had it on the mantle with my dad. Standing in the middle, but we called it his missionary picture.
So he gave up the mission to marry.
Well, sure.
To marry your mom.
Well, he didn't give it up. They kicked him out.
Well.
They didn't want him because mother was pregnant.
Okay. That must have caused some problems in his family.
You what?
I say that must have caused some problems in his family.
They were overly, every one of them were overly religious. I think my dad was the only one that, well, you can see that he must have been religious at one time, but like I say, everyone, Uncle Albert, Uncle Dad, all of them were very, very, bishop. Uncle Albert was a bishop, Uncle Dad was a bishop. They were all very, very religious. But my dad turned against the church.
Well, okay. What was your dad good at?
What was he like?
What was he good at? Did he have any special talents?
He had
a good singing voice?
He had a garage in the back of their house. A big garage. The garage, I think he had more money tied up in that garage than he did in his own abode, his own house. But he run a garage, and it was rumored in Santa Quinn that my dad had the best garage that there was in Santa Quinn. They would come to my dad to get, I don't know what, tools and things, but.
Oh. So he was a mechanic. He was very mechanical. A good mechanic?
Yeah, well, and my dad, he did a lot of settling weld. He fixed people's things. And weld them, I don't know weld them. I don't know, but he welded them. But anyway, my dad went blind because
of diabetes.
I had a couple of renters, and they even bought my dad some glasses, but my dad would not even wear the glasses. But anyway, it burned it burned his eyes.
So you think the welding is what caused his blindness, or diabetes?
Yeah, it was welding.
I thought it was diabetes.
Well, that helped. That helped, but no, it was Daddy Long and Walter had them about that. Bought them from the steel plant. They were #1. They were the top of the line. But anyway, Dad wouldn't wear them. He'd go out there. But like I say, he was busy from daylight till dark. People all over Santaquin would bring their problems to Dad, and Dad would fix the plow. He would fix the harrow. He would fix.
Did he get paid for fixing them?
Well, sure. I'm sure he did.
Okay. So you told a story one time of how he was doing hay and he got the pitchfork or something got in him?
The fork, yeah. They used to have a fork. Gerald drove the tractor that pulled the fork from the barn, and they'd load the fork up in the barn, load it with hay, and then Gerald would pull the fork out of the opening of the barn, and Dad, anyway, in loading the fork, ran the fork through his thigh. And he would not go to the doctor. They didn't even know.
He didn't tell anybody?
He would not even go to the doctor. No.
Did he limp because of it?
I don't know, Renee.
Okay.
That's been too many years ago.
Okay.
I can't remember all this stuff.
Were there any, you said that another important father figure was Uncle Dan. Why did you like Uncle Dan so much?
Why did I what?
Why did you like Uncle Dan so much? He was an important father figure in your life. Why was he so special?
Oh, I'll tell you, the father figure in my life was Ellis, was Grandma's boy, Ellis Jensen. That was my father figure. And Uncle Dan was his dad's brother.
Well, you said Uncle Dan. He was the closeness of activities. He must have had a lot of family activities.
Uncle Dan he ordered coal from Dad, and Dad would go down and deliver the load of coal, and he would have a nook, a breakfast nook. You couldn't even sit up chairs. There was bench, but with his family. But anyway, I could remember he had strawberries. He had a bowl, just a small bowl of strawberries in the middle of the table. And the strawberries were supposed to share with Dad's kids and my dad. And my dad took some milk or sugar and ate the whole bowl.
Oh dear.
But my dad was a hearty eater. But anyway, I was surprised that my dad would even eat with Uncle Dan. I don't know what the circumstances was, but see, he had delivered coal down to Uncle Dan's, and see, he stayed for dinner, and that's when they had a big, not a big bowl. It was probably enough to serve 2 or 3, but anyway, my dad, he thought that was his bowl, so he just took the bowl and put the milk and sugar on it and ate the bowl.
So why was Uncle Ellis a father figure? What did he do for you?
Oh, he did, they had me go to California, and I stayed with Ellis and Verona, and Ellen and Verona taught me a lot of little housekeeping rules and how to cook and things like that. And but Ellis was, I thought he was the most handsome guy. And anyway, he'd come and when he'd come in, he'd grab me and we'd dance around the room. And he actually taught me to dance.
Really? Okay. How do you think things have changed from when you were growing up with dads and what dads are like now?
Beg pardon?
How has the view of fathers changed from when you were growing up?
Well, it's tempered down. It is not as, the things are not as strict as they were back then. Things are a lot more needed. You were entitled to stay out past 9 o'clock, and my dad would, he would have a fit if you stayed out late. No,
So curfews are more, curfews are different. Anything else? Isn't correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't fathers more involved with their children now than they were when you were growing up?
No.
No?
No, I was not involved, no.
My
dad passed away, Renee. You're asking things that are in the past.
I'm saying that nowadays, fathers are more involved with the care of their children than they were back when you were growing up.
Absolutely, but my dad was not, no.
No, I wasn't saying your dad was. I'm just saying that that's how things have changed.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're on to events and milestones. What do you know about the day you were born?
What do I know about what?
The day you were born.
I was born premature. I only weighed 5. I didn't even weigh. I don't think I weighed 6 pounds. And we didn't have a doctor. Mother had a doctor, but she got Chester Johnson, who was a midwife. I was delivered by a midwife, by Chester Johnson, and we had a coal stove.
Where were you born? At the house?
In the house in Santa Quinn.
Okay.
And she had a blanket, and well, it looked just like a dishpan, but she laid the dishpan and put me in the oven. But see, I was only a year younger than Leo.
Okay.
I was a year and a day.
You have something here, stories about your siblings' births, and you said something about Uhu would bring pigs in a blanket or something?
Uhu. Whenever mother would have a baby, she would bring what they call pigs in a blanket, and it would just be the little sausages, but she would wrap them. It would be, she would have a wrap on them, but my mother had a bedroom kind of in the back of the house, and Uhu would come in, and she would bring it. I think, I wish I could have one of those pigs in a blanket, but she never brought us kids any. She brought Mama pigs in a blanket and brought her dinner, which was all right. I just thought at the time that it was rude of her to bring dinner there. We were hungry, but Uhu.
Who's Uhu?
The neighbor across the street that ran the store.
Why was her name Uhu?
She would go out, and she was a mail order bride, and she married Olaf. Olaf sent for her, and she was a mail order bride, and she never had a big potatoes and gravy dinner, but she always had French rolls and lunch meats and all kinds of luncheon things. And she would go out. She would stand on the back porch and holler, "Yoo-hoo!" So I started calling her Uhu, and Uhu liked it, so you call me Uhu. But she went back to England, and she wanted to come, and I thought Mama was kind of mean. She had to have, I think it cost, I don't know, $100, I don't know what the price was, but it cost money to send for her, to pay her.
To come back?
To come back, and my mother wouldn't do it. And I kind of, for years, kind of blamed my mother because I wanted Uhu to come back. But
what did Uhu do for you?
She had any party that I had, she had she had a front room with a throw rug. It was a Oriental fancy rug. It wasn't carpeted, but a throw rug. And she would have a great big tub, metal tub, and she put water in it. And we would bob for apple, and she would fix a party. A lot of the parties that I had over at Uhu's.
So she was a mother figure then.
She was kind of my Uhu did not have any kids, but anyway,
Did she kind of adopt you?
Did she what?
She kind of treated you like you were one of her kids?
Well, I think she favored me because, like I said, I even worked in her store. I was only 15 years old, but she ran just a little, it wasn't even as big as a 7-Eleven store. But I worked in the store, and Uhu, every little thing Uhu would do for me, but it was because Mother, had her hands full, and Mother was glad for any help that Uhu would give me.
So did Uhu ever come back?
What?
Did Uhu ever come back from England?
Uhu never come back. Uhu died in England.
Oh, it's sad.
Yeah.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah, I would like to have. Well, of course, I wasn't married. I didn't have any means. I had no way. But I thought my mother was kind of...
Do you know what her real name was?
Ellen Peterson.
Okay.
Ellen Peterson.
And she married Olaf?
Olaf
Peterson.
Peterson, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, her name was Ellen. And I was a little upset because my mother named her girl Ellen, and I wanted to be named after Uhu.
Oh.
But Ellen, you know that Ellen, I've got a sister Ellen.
Do you think that's why Grandma named her Ellen?
Sure.
Oh. Well, that was kind
Mama liked Uhu.
Yeah. Well, who wouldn't if she was doing all those things for you? Did she do that for your siblings or just you? The parties. Did she have parties for Aunt Venice and...
No.
No, it was just you.
No, I don't remember. I call Aunt Venice right now and ask her, but no, she never did.
Well, you were lucky.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, Mama would get up and she would have maybe 2 or 3 orders of coals and she would have the cow to milk. My dad would take off, go down to Jordan Gap was the name of the where he had the ground. It was called Jordan Gap. And my dad would go down there and he would work, plow the ground and harrow the ground. But he did my mother to milk the cow, feed the chicken. We had 2 or 3 big buck sheep, and they were mean. And the big buck sheep took my mother to the straw stack. Was after my mother would have got her. But Mother dove into the straw. It was a loose straw stack. My dad had a thrashing machine, and they would just blow the straw in a big pile. It wasn't done in bales. But my mother took to that, and she took a pitchfork and ran the pitchfork through the
Killed it?
through the sheep.
And killed it?
Well, I think she did.
Because he was chasing her.
It was either kill it or it killed herself.
Wow.
Yeah, Mother just about. And then Mother and Dad had some wild horses, and boy, she even had to run in with them. So, but like I say, my dad would take off. He would go down to Jordan Gap. He did one out of Goshen. I can't remember what the name of but he had these pieces of ground that he had
to go work on, and then he left her to do all the rest of the farming.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, did you ever have any special birthdays when you were growing up?
been fun. In fact, on my birthday, I had, I was going with Melville Hall, and when I come home, Mother had a great big washing going, and she come to the cupboard and handed me some money, told me to go up to Walton Callaway and get me and Melva a hamburger. That was my birthday. My mother did not make.
You didn't have parties.
She didn't make any special.
Well, it sounds like Uhu did, though.
Oh, well, Uhu did, but Uhu would even had me, she got known for apples and stuff. Yeah,
Was that a Halloween party? What kind of a party was it?
I can't remember, Renee, what the parties were.
Okay.
I had a Halloween party, but it was Uhu.
What are some of the most momentous events in your life?
Charles, I don't want to do any more of it.
You want to end for today? Just finish this question. What are some of the most momentous events in your life that have shaped you into who you are today?
Well, I think going on a trip back east and getting married.
Yeah, that was momentous.
And going to high school at Mason.
Why was that momentous?
Well, that's where I got my education, was over at Mason High School.
So did you, when you married Dad, did you still have one more year of high school to finish?
Yeah, I had about a few months.
Were you able to finish that? So you didn't get a high school diploma then?
No.
Yes or no?
I can't remember what you're saying.
Did you get a high school diploma? Did you ever graduate from high school? No, because you got married, right?
Yeah.
Well, nowadays, if you don't finish high school, you can go to classes and get your high school diploma.
Yeah, I know that, Renee.
But they didn't offer that back in the day?
I know that, Renee.
Okay. Answer one more so that I have it even.
That's all. Call it, put it away, then I'll do it again.
Okay, we're continuing on events and milestones. It's June 13th. So, Mother, when you first left your parents' home, when was that? When did you first leave your parents' home? You know, to start out on your own.
When I got married?
Well, I talk about that.
Well, I was married in September. September the 4th.
And talk a little bit about that and where you moved to. Where did you move?
I got married and moved to Provo.
Okay.
Moved into Vincent's apartment in Provo.
Okay. What was it like to be out on your own for the first time?
I didn't hear.
What was it like to be out on your own for the first time?
Well, it was a lonely feeling, and I had a lot of misgivings and but life goes on. You don't make those kind of decisions.
Why did you have a lot of misgivings? What do you mean? What do you mean you had a lot of misgivings? What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, some days I think, why in the world am I doing this? And when things don't go just right, why did I ever make that step? But anyway, I figured that thing worked out good.
Okay.
I don't want to answer the question.
Okay. Did you have to buy all your own furniture and everything? Did Dad have furniture for your apartment, or how did you?
Did you have to buy all the furniture?
Yeah, for your apartment. Did you have furniture for your apartment?
We've been in an apartment fully furnished.
Oh, it was furnished. Okay. Okay. Next question. What major crossroads have you faced in your life where you had to choose between one or the other?
What did I do?
Yeah, what, like, when you answered this before, you talked about the Colorado possibility. Talk a little bit about that, will you?
I don't know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about.
Dad wanted to move to Colorado. Can you talk
Well,
about that?
Your dad became restless, and he wanted to transfer out to Colorado. But I had applied to the postmaster in Colorado, but at the time there was not even an opening. But he had decided that if he could transfer, he would transfer, and we would move to Colorado. But as it turned out, there was not an opening in Colorado. So anyway, he had a manager of the bank in Provo that told him that there was going to be a depression, that he better stay put, that he better not try to make any sudden changes, that he better stay with his job that he had now. So he was advised, your dad, to stay in Provo to the post office.
Okay. Were you living in a brand new home at that time? Were you living in a brand new home at that time?
No, not at that time. We didn't know, not for several years after that, but we built a home in 534 East, 7th North in Provo.
How long had you been married before you got that brand new home?
I don't know.
Several years?
2 or 3 years.
Okay, so why did you leave that home?
Well, maybe it was about 6, 7 years, because Larry, when we moved into the home, so it was about 6 years.
Okay. And then when did you leave that home?
Oh, I don't know the day. I don't remember dates.
You moved to Mapleton.
I don't know when it was.
Okay, but you moved to Mapleton. So can you talk about
we moved to Mapleton.
how
we bought some acreage in Mapleton and a house in Mapleton.
What was the house like? What was the house like?
It was your dad had it new face put on it and remodeled it, so it was a nice home.
Okay. Next question. What are your most treasured memories from your wedding day? What was exciting about your wedding day?
Well, I don't know. I did not have a wedding.
What do you mean you didn't have a wedding?
I did not have a wedding reception, no. My Aunt Lazon and Uncle Moore arranged for me to have a shower in the backyard, but I did not have a wedding.
Okay.
Ever. I did not have a wedding. No wedding dress. At the shower I wore, I had some formals that I had worn before I was married, and I had used one of the formals, and anyway, we had a shower in the marvelous lawn backyard.
Okay. One of the answers that you have here is that you didn't get any of your personal items when you got married from your home.
Because I came on through Santa Quinn without having my mother and dad attend me when I got married. And so anyway, they were upset at me. So anyway, my mother took all of my dresses and remodeled them for my younger sisters. I did not get any of my personal belongings when I left Santa Quinn.
And saxophone, you didn't get your saxophone either, right? No saxophone?
I didn't hear you.
No saxophone?
No, I didn't know. They gave a saxophone to one of the boys. I think they gave it to Gerald.
Okay. Of all the times that you've moved.
How many times did I move?
No, I said of all the times you've moved to a new house, which one had the biggest impact on you? What was the most traumatic move that you made?
The home here in Mapleton, because I had left all my friends and left my church job and all my friends in Provo. It was here in Mapleton.
Okay. What can you remember about each one of your kids when you laid eyes on them, when they were first born?
Well,
what was your impression? Can you go through Larry?
I was disappointed with Larry. Larry was an instrument baby, and when he was born, his head was out of shape. And I cried when Larry was born. But the nurse at the Crane Maternity Hospital said, "Oh, quit! Don't worry about it. They oil it. She said it would be back in shape." But we stayed 10 days in the hospital when Larry was born.
And did it go down?
Beg pardon.
Did the misshapen head go back into shape then?
His head went right back to normal.
Okay. What about Venice? What was your impression when you saw Venice?
Just that I was excited, very much excited to get a little girl, and she had more hair. Larry didn't have much hair, but Venice had quite a bit of nice hair, and she was good-natured, a lot better-natured than most kids, and so
okay,
it worked out. It worked out good.
What about Ronnie?
Well, when Ronnie was born, a doctor, Ronnie Clark, said, "If Ronnie is red-headed, you gotta give him." But Dr. Ronnie Clark loved it, but Ronnie had red hair, and I couldn't believe it. But Ronnie's hair was not really bright red; it was just a natural, almost a natural color. I don't think you were ever impressed that it was. I guess he was impressed, but it was not very red, and he was a lot. He was a cheerful, good-natured baby.
Okay, and me, Renee.
And Renee. Anyway, everybody in Mapleton was so excited because I was expecting a girl, and so when Renee was born, I got a lot of congratulations. They all, I guess, did not expect me to have a little girl.
Okay. You said something about I was put on oxygen or something.
I didn't hear what you said.
I don't know. My notes say that I was put on oxygen.
When Renee was born, she had trouble breathing, so they put her on oxygen, and they did at that time gave her a little more oxygen, and we were afraid that we would have trouble down the line because they gave her too much oxygen, but she didn't have oxygen when she was born.
Okay, and then you have something about your mom gave you a baby buggy?
My mom what?
Gave you a baby buggy.
Oh, my mother had a baby before I did, and when my mother had a baby, your dad lined a baby buggy, we lined it with satin, and put new wheels on it and fixed it, and then when you were born, my mother gave it back. Mother gave it for me to use for when you were born.
Oh, so Dad did all that stuff to the buggy for what baby?
I didn't hear you.
He finished off the buggy and he gave it to Grandma, or did he do it for you?
He fixed the buggy up for Grandma and gave it to Grandma.
Oh.
But then Grandma gave it when I had you. Then she gave it back to me.
Did he have to fix it up? Was it all beat up?
I don't remember.
You don't remember.
That's too many years ago.
Okay. All right.
That's why I think this is stupid, because I can't remember.
You're doing just fine. What life lessons have you learned from the unexpected events in your life?
I didn't hear what you said.
What have you learned from unexpected things that have happened in your life? What have you learned from them?
Well, one of the biggest things was going on a trip to Michigan to buy a car for my dad. My dad chose me out of all the family to go back with him to buy a new truck. A new truck.
Okay, one of the things you said something is that Dad got a deferment.
What?
During the war, Dad got a deferment. Can you talk about that?
About what?
A deferment from the war. Dad.
Oh, well, we had moved into a new home in Provo, and they were building the Geneva steel plant. They were just starting up, and we had two superintendents that needed a place. They had lived across the street to Carl Nelson's, and they wanted to move over with us, so we rented. We had 2 bedrooms upstairs, and your dad and I took a bedroom downstairs. But anyway, we rented the 2 bedrooms to Walter Hanneman and Daddy Long during the war, and they was rationing, and especially me. But anyway, the weekend, Daddy and Walt would take us up to Wick's, a place up in Kent. It was more or less kind of a beer parlor, but they specialized in steaks, and they took us just about every weekend up to Wick's in Provo for steak supper. But they knew that we were limited on our red coupon. That the steak, the red meat was a red coupon, so we. Anyway, we used to always have Daddy and Walt for Sunday. I didn't fix meals for them, but it was understood that they had breakfast with us. And I can remember, there was no liquor in our house. But anyway, Daddy, he said, is it okay if I have a coffee royal? Well, I didn't know what a coffee royal. I did make coffee for them because they drank coffee. But anyway, they would have coffee and they would pour, I don't even know right now, some kind of liquor in it, and they called it coffee royal. But anyway, they were good to us. They bought us overstuffed chairs, took us out to eat, and they even cut down a golf stick for Larry so he could play golf. But they were really quite pleasant to have.
So how come Dad didn't have to go to war?
I didn't hear you.
How come Dad didn't have to go fight in World War II?
He got a return. The post office finally issued deferment, and it was the day that Venice was born, your dad was issued a deferment, so he didn't have to go. He didn't have to go to the war.
You also said that when you were in labor with Venice, that you had a flat tire.
Oh, when I went into labor with Venice and went up, was going to take me to the hospital, and there was a flat tire. So anyway, your dad had to fix a flat tire before we even went to the hospital.
Wow. Okay. One unexpected event in your life was when excuse me, when Ronnie was killed. How did that help you grow? I know that was hard.
Know. You'll have to just leave that. I don't know.
Well, did you learn anything from that?
What?
Did you learn anything from...
I don't know.
Okay. What advice do you have for others who are empty nesters? All your kids leave and you're home alone with your husband. What advice do you give to them? What have you learned from that experience?
Well, to be honest and pay their bills and be at work.
How do you adjust when your kids have all left home and you're alone? What did you learn from that?
I don't know. Nothing.
You didn't learn anything after the kids all left home? You didn't learn anything from that?
I don't remember that too many years ago.
You said something about Dad's health. Dad's health got bad. And you went back to work. Talk about that, will you please?
Well,
when Ronnie died.
Your dad was never out of work a day in his whole life. Never out of work. He never missed a day's work. in all the years.
Yeah, but his health got really bad when he was older.
He what?
His health got really bad as he got older.
Well, he had a stomach. They didn't remove. Later on, they didn't remove, but they had, I don't know, 80–90% of his stomach removed. I don't know. It was more percent than they usually do. But that was when Venice got married. They removed part of his stomach because he had ulcers.
Okay. When did you go back to work?
When
When did you go back to work? Driving school bus.
I worked continually. Before I drove the school bus, I worked for Haven Drug, and I worked for J.C. Penney's, and I worked for the state middle. So I didn't ever get off work. I worked all my life.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I always had, I don't know, the only problem that I had one time was when you were little, your dad and I took taking care because he had shift work, and he would take you part day, and I would take you part. But then one time we had Aunt Vera, they come from Colorado, and you were supposed to go to a care center where they took care of you, and they served orange juice.
I thought it was tomato juice.
Well, it's tomato juice, I guess it was. And anyway, you bawled, you upset, so it created a problem. It was when I worked in the state middle, and Aunt Vera said, "You leave." She was here for, I don't know, a week to stay. I don't know, maybe she was staying a month, but she said, "You let me take her, and I'll take care of her." So she did. This happened to be so you didn't go to the care center, whatever it was.
Aunt Vera took care of me? Aunt Vera?
Aunt Vera took care.
Really? Okay, I don't remember that. Okay, so what events or milestones are you anticipating or looking forward to? What are you looking forward to? You said better health.
Oh, building, making the money out here. We milked a cow and sold milk. We had a struggle. We had a lot of work here. We had a little fruit orchard. We had to pick fruit and deliver fruit. We peddled fruit, even down at Ephraim. But it was a continual struggle.
Okay, so when you answered this question, you said that you're having problems reading right now. You're having problems reading right now, right?
Reading?
Yeah, you're having problems reading like Carla Kelly books.
Because I had an eye operation.
Okay. And so
I'm in hopes that when I go back to get the stitches out instead, I can go back to reading, but I'm having a little trouble reading.
Okay. You also said that one of the places that you worked at a clinic with Riley Clark.
I was what?
That you worked at a clinic with Riley Clark, the doctor.
Oh, I worked at a public health clinic with Riley Clark. And I wasn't working there. It was just a monthly deal, so I just helped at the clinic. It was just.
What were you doing?
Oh, I waved him in and helped the doctor whenever he needed help.
You said it was a good health clinic and that you were a receptionist. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then I've got a note here that he thought it was terrible to not have shoes.
Well, Riley Clark, when the customers would come in, they would let the kids run away. It was like a church. room. But anyway, the floor wasn't that small, but he said that was so ridiculous that the young mothers would let these kids run without any socks or something. And he was a kind of a clean freak. He thought they ought to take better care of because they were running around in this room with those shoes on.
Okay. What, you said something about Aunt Vera giving Dad a car because you didn't have a car in Mapleton?
Well, we only had the truck, and it was to haul the mail. But anyway, I was pregnant with Ronnie, and we decided that if we had a second car, I could go myself to see Dr. Ronnie Clark. But anyway, Aunt Vera gave us a little, I guess, I don't know, the Model T, Model 8, I don't know what the model was. But anyway, your dad even fixed a little box on the back because we built a cow, and he would take the little truck with the back on it and deliver the milk. But anyway, Aunt Vera just outright gave us the little, I don't know, it was a Model T or Model A.
And then something about that you had to wash the bottles for the milk at Elaine's house?
We delivered to my husband's, his niece. And when he'd go in, they were supposed to have their bottle clean and sit by the door. And when he would go in, he would go into the sink and have to wash Elaine's bottle because she never washed the bottles. So.
Okay, I'm just looking at my notes here. I have something here that when you got married, Grandpa was mad and he smashed a control box?
He bashed him, that kind of tore the siding of the door, yeah.
What's the control box?
Because I got married, because I went right on through Santa Quinn without stopping, and we were married in the courthouse in Provo.
Well, what's a control box? I don't know what that is. What is a control box? You said he smashed the control box. What's a control box?
I don't know, I didn't hear what you said.
You said that Grandpa was mad and he smashed a control box. What is that?
Well, no. It was just inside the door.
So was it where the light switches were?
No, that's all I know. I don't know.
What, when you came into the house, that's what he did?
Well, he was mad because I had gone right on through Santa Quinn without stopping.
Okay. You said that for doctors, there were twin brothers.
Yes, right.
Lloyd and Leland.
Lloyd and Leland Cullimore were the doctors. Lloyd Cullimore and Leland Cullimore. And they were they were twins or brothers.
And which one did you have?
I had both of them. Leland delivered, but I had, when I'd go and Leland wasn't there, I would see Lloyd Cullimore.
Okay.
I don't want to do any more today. Call it good now.
Okay.
Pick it up later.
Let's just do a few more, okay? We're on to the next subject.
I can't hear.
We're moving on, okay? We're moving on to travels and vacations. What was your most common childhood vacation like? Did you ever go on a camping trip?
Going back to get the.
I know you already talked. You already talked about that. Did you go anywhere else?
Well, I went to California. My mother let me go to California. I stayed for a week or two with Aunt Verona.
Okay. You said something about you spent Easter up in the canyon.
Oh, we went down to Lincoln Beach. It was a beach. And we had this little old truck, and my mother would load it up. And my girlfriend, she was really good-hearted. She would load up. But we would take our Easter lunch in our Easter basket and go down to Lincoln Beach.
Okay. How many different states or countries have you been in?
How many what?
How many states or countries have you been in? Can you list some of the ones that you've been in?
Well, I didn't go to very many. Oh, I went back to East Michigan, Detroit. I went back to East Ohio. I did a lot of states. When I went back with my dad
Okay.
to buy a car.
You've gone to Washington to see me, right?
Yeah.
If I remember right, you went to Houston when Larry was there, right? Houston, Texas. You went to Houston, Texas to see Larry, right?
Larry took us, but when Michelle was being baptized, Larry went back to
Washington. I know. But when Larry was working in Houston, Texas, you went, I remember going with you and Dad to Houston, right?
I don't think we ever.
Yes, we did.
We went to with Larry when Larry was.
Yeah, in Houston.
We went with Larry, but I don't think we ever went.
Yes, we
Oh,
did.
yes, we did, because it was hot, really hot, and your dad wanted to get out of the house. Let's get out of here. And we opened the door, and it was just like a furnace. And your dad did not like Houston. So neither did Larry. Larry called it hell on earth. He did not like Houston.
We also went to go see Ronnie and Barbara.
Yeah, we went. I can't remember. I'd have to get some notes on to even remember.
Where was that? Was that Nebraska? Was that Nebraska?
Houston.
I think it was Nebraska.
I don't know.
Anyway, and you've been to Hawaii with us, right? Hawaii and Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is there one place that you'd like to go back to out of all the places you've been?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.